Nigeria. A country of over 200 million people. The land is blessed with so many resources. Nigeria is a country adorned with many tribes and loads of colorful cultures. A country haunted by tribalism and remnants of colonialism. This was where I grew up and where the horrors of my hair journey began. Hello listeners, I'm Ganiyat, project manager by day, natural hair obsessed always. Thanks for tuning in to Unraveling the Knots. I like to shed more light and help you shed less hairs. I love learning about Afro-textured hair care, the science of hair, and debunking myths around Afro hair. One of the aims of this podcast is to celebrate Afro or kinky hair and help change the problematic narrative of this hair type. So this is the first episode of my podcast, and what better way to launch this podcast than to share my personal hair story? By the way, today is October 1st, and it is Nigerian Independence Day. Shout out to my Nigerian people. So on today's episode of Unraveling the Knots, I will be sharing my love-hate relationship with my hair and my journey to self-acceptance. My natural hair journey has been mostly filled with despair and tears. As a child growing up in Nigeria, I was surrounded mostly by women who did not have natural hair. My mom, my sisters, I would say my older sisters, and, my aunties, older cousins, family friends, extended family members, most of these people wore their hair straight. My mom didn't let me relax my hair as a kid. She thought it was important for me to keep my hair natural. She didn't want me exposed to relaxer so young. My mom sometimes helped get my hair done. She would cornrow my hair or thread my hair. But most of the times, I actually had to go get my hair done by the local stylist. And when I think about those times, those appointments, having to get my hair done with these women, it was not fun. Don't get me wrong. These women were great at making my hair look on point. They made the lines of my hair look really clean. All the strands were tucked away, but it came with a price. I usually left their hair salons with a lot of back and neck pain. Those times, all I remember was just feeling a lot of pain and discomfort. So yeah, as a child that was restless, I did not enjoy getting my hair done. I also just didn't really like my hair. I just thought it was unappealing as a child because it was, Afro and everyone else had relaxed hair. Not everyone else, but a good amount of people that I admired and I looked up to kept their hair straight. A few years later, when I went to secondary school, so secondary school is a combination of junior high and high school in the US. I went to a federal government secondary school. My school was also a boarding school, and these federal government schools were the strictest of the strictest. They had rules for everything. Man. And I was also required to keep my hair short for the first 3 years of secondary school. Something interesting happened when I started secondary school. When I would go home for vacation, my mom started letting me relax my hair. But there was a catch. When I went back to school, I had to cut my hair short. I did this for 6 years, and when I was done with secondary school, I started preparing to come to the US for college. I arrived in the US and a family member persuaded me to keep my hair natural. I don't know why I agreed to it, but I basically decided to go natural when I started college. But my hair was always braided. I would typically just, keep my hair in braids for about 3 months, then take it out, wash it, get it done like the next day. My hair was rarely exposed. It was usually in braids. But my hair actually really grew during this time and it flourished. So 3 years after moving to the US, I decided to go to Nigeria for vacation. I had so much fun. I had enough faji. Faji means fun or, entertainment. I don't know what I was thinking and how I got so carried away in Nigeria that I decided to get my hair relaxed. Man, I made a huge mistake of getting my hair relaxed. But initially, my hair felt amazing. It was straight and silky, and it also had body to it. So my hair looked beautiful. But of course, things went downhill rather fast. I kept having to relax my hair every 4 to 6 weeks. And the lady that was making my hair, then I don't even think she was a licensed cosmetologist. She would not just relax the new growth, but she would also relax the portion of my hair that had been relaxed previously. Man, my hair became so limp. And of course, I experienced a lot of damage. Like that wasn't bad enough. I kept doing all sorts of hairstyles that did not help my hair matter. I would have women just install weaves anyhow. They would pull my scalp. They would, oh man. I wasn't being deliberate. I wasn't being attentive towards making sure that my hair was done well. Sometime around 2010, I decided to be a more practicing Muslim. So I took on wearing the hijab. And of course, I was still very neglectful of my hair. Of course, wearing a scarf over my hair, wearing the hijab just made it easier for me to keep being neglectful. I wasn't motivated to try to make my hair look nice because I felt, oh, nobody's going to see my hair. I think it was around 2014 that I started learning about hair. I was watching more YouTube videos. I was, hearing tips from friends, but I didn't really put any of these things to practice. And what even made it worse was, as much as I was learning all this information, I still kept going to the salons where my hair was constantly being overpowered. If you go to like the black salons, where of course you know that the stylists are usually not certified cosmetologists, you know what I mean. Man, they would pull my hair, they'd tug in and the back and forth. It just seemed like the stylists were on a mission to make sure my hair knew who was boss. But then COVID happened, and this was the turning point in my hair journey for the better. So that's a quick summary of over 30 years of my hair story. Before I talk about my current state in terms of having better, healthier hair, I'd like to highlight some of the reasons why I feel like I couldn't attain healthy hair when I was younger. The first reason why I wasn't able to grow healthy and beautiful natural hair was the fact that I didn't have role models. Growing up, I was surrounded by women who aspired or had straight hair and used relaxer. The sad thing now is we are actually learning that the use of relaxer might be linked to reproductive issues in Black women. When I was younger in the 90s, kinky hair had a bad rep. The perception of kinky hair then, or Afro hair, was something undesirable, unkept. It was just less, compared to all the other hair types. But things are definitely getting better. Shout out to the natural hair influencers who strut their beautiful Afro hair on the virtual runway of social media. Kudos to you. You are definitely saving we Afro-textured people. You are giving us hope. The second reason why I feel like I couldn't attain, my healthy hair goals when I was younger was the fact that I was aspiring to European beauty standards. The reality is Afro hair is not meant to be and can never be anything other than Afro hair. My need to have and rock relaxed hair was based on not knowing any better. I just thought that's what the world wants. When I go to school or I'm at work, my hair just needs to look nice and neat. So I thought it was important to just fit in. So I needed to look like the ideal woman with straight hair. Lastly, I think it's important to identify the fact that personal responsibility was the issue for me. That was the third piece to why I couldn't achieve healthy hair. The reality is that old habits die hard. As much as I kept learning about how to take care of my hair, the sad thing was that I actually kept going to these salons where the mission of the hairstylist was to conquer my hair. I keep laughing as I remember how nonchalant I was about handling my hair. You know what? Handling is not the right word when I think about my hair these days. I think language is important when we qualify our traits or qualities. So I think the right word is care. I do care a lot for my hair, and I should actually say I really love my natural hair. But how did I get here? I believe I got to this point because of three things. The first reason why I would say is that I started embracing my roots and history. When I moved to the US, I don't know why, but I just feel like there was something that got triggered within me and started pushing me to learn about my history, to learn about Nigeria, to learn about my heritage. And as a result, I actually started uncovering a lot of people that you would consider to be forces in making a huge difference in Nigeria. When I grew up in Nigeria, I don't think I really learned about history. I'm not even sure if they really taught us about history in Nigeria. I would probably say they taught us the sanitized version of history in Nigeria. But I came to the US, I started getting exposure to a whole bunch of important female icons in Nigeria, including women like Funmilayo Ransome Kuti, who was the first woman in Nigeria to drive a car, I believe. This woman was fearless, and she was a force in helping move Nigeria forward and basically fighting for independence. And as I kept learning more about my history and my roots, I started finding and identifying more figures that were Nigerian, and they made remarkable contribution to the country. Coming across these Nigerian heroes, I would say, has definitely helped me embrace my roots and also my looks. The second reason why I would say my hair is in a healthier state is due to the fact that I started educating myself about my hair. When COVID happened, there was a lot of tragedy, there was a lot of loss. I also feel COVID was a time for reflection. I was forcefully distanced from the stylist that I typically would go to get my hair done. I would say it was a blessing in disguise. During COVID, I was motivated to learn about my hair, and I have more time on my hands so I could actually practice the things that I was learning on my own hair. And the last reason why I believe my hair is in a much healthier state is because I've been able to expand the concept of self-love to include my hair. So for people who know me, my friends, my family, they would definitely tell you that I've been big on living healthy for the longest time. I'll probably say for like about 10 years. Before I got to the point where now I'm caring for my hair, I'd been eating very healthy for a while, taking care of my skin and my body, but I just couldn't seem to make my hair a part of that equation. Fortunately, after learning about my hair and being forced to actually take care of my hair, thanks to COVID, I gradually started becoming more deliberate in how I actually cater to my hair. I now see my hair care as part of my self-care. I'm not going to say it's been all fairy tale. It's not been. Getting used to having a routine for my hair has not been easy. But the more I've done it, the better I've become at it. It's become less tedious, and I just love the results. I've definitely slipped a few times since 2020, and I've had minor setbacks in reaching my hair goals. I am almost 40, and I just have to say my hair is in the best state ever. I now identify my hair as part of me. And like me, my Afro hair is definitely resilient and fascinating. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Unraveling the Knots. Feel free to email me your questions about Afro hair using the email address utkinhair@gmail.com. The email address is also included in the description for this episode. Please be sure to rate my show on wherever you get your podcast and share this episode with someone who will benefit from it. Talk to you next time.